Greetings, everyone. Travis here for Tpull's Corner. Welcome. We have an interesting deck today. To discard a card already. Let's get rid of Sigarda's Splendor. It's the most expensive thing. We'll play the Wrench now. We don't have a 2-drop, so we can then play our tap line after that. Ah, that's an enchantment, right? Just get rid of that now. We're going to be greedy. We're going to put the Rumor Gatherer down first, because if we can put the other creatures down after, that's when we'll get the benefits. That's not the worst thing in the world. We'll put down the tap land some other time. Rumor Gatherer comes down first. Hopefully it lasts so we can get value out of it. Hopefully black doesn't have something to just destroy it right away. They usually do. Okay, they thought about it. Really cheap removal. Worth it to them. Okay. We don't have another human, so we're not going to get the benefit of that. We can get a card draw here. Cut down, I'll get rid of that. Yep, they've got the cut down. So is this just like nothing but removal? Is that what we have? I mean, if that's what we have, so be it. They're waiting to see what we're going to do. Let's put down the dog. Let's equip the wrench. Oh, never mind. I just got card draw instead. I was going to make the dog a 2/2. Oh well. They don't want to waste removal on a 1/1 dog. That's what it is. Okay. Human Soldier and Human Soldier. This will cost less. Let's again be greedy. We don't have a human down, so we're not going to put down the Resistance Squad. We're going to wait. They're waiting, so if they keep this alive... Bingo. Okay, so... If you control another human. So we're going to attack first. We bring down the Search Party Captain because it's cheaper now. Cost less. We get the land? No. I've got enough land. Excellent. Then, when Resistance Squad enters the battlefield, if you control another human, we draw a card. We have another human now. We activate Rumor Gatherer and Resistance Squad. And we can bring down Ambitious Farmhand. Yes, we search first for the plains. And then we get to scry, and we like the dog. 5 creatures. Does it feel like we're playing a green ramp deck or something? Mourner's Surprise. They didn't even have anything. Okay. Let's see. Discerning Financier wouldn't necessarily help us. Let's gain 4 life and draw a card. Let's draw a card. We get to scry. Halo Fountain's excellent. But let's wait on Halo Fountain. Let's activate Rumor Gatherer again for 2 card draw, and we get down Basilica Skullbook. Then 3. Let's just try and go for that. And this mercenary can block the dog if they want. Or they can chump block and try and prevent us from getting this. They chump block instead. And we won. Against black, which had at least 6 cards in their hand, I started to lose count. And plenty of energy to do whatever they felt like. This deck is called the Draw Tutor. how do I want to put this? The reason that this deck is so good is because Wizards of the Coast has made changes to the game because of the influence of Commander. This isn't something I'm making up. It's not a conspiracy theory. I have pieced together from interviews and podcasts, discussions between designers. It's part of the public record. They have added card draw to white. They have added tutoring land to white. What they've done is they've kept it confined to drawing planes only. So it's not for mana fixing, right? It's just to get more planes out for the color white. So everything that you can do in terms of drawing land from your deck, if it's a white spell, it's only going to draw you a planes. And that's stuff like the Restoration of a Ganjo. You can search your library for basic planes, right? Sunblade Samurai. Discard Sunblade Samurai, search for basic planes. Ambitious Farmhand. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic planes. They didn't used to do this. This is all modern standard. This is something that they just started doing the last few years. The reason that they're doing this is because Commander is the most popular format by which Magic is played. Wizards of the Coast has started looking at how they design cards and looking at the problems that the individual colors have in a Commander environment. This is part of why I think blue has vigilance now. This is part of why red is getting more card draw. It's why they gave land tutoring in the form of planes to white. They've also given white card draw. This is something that we're not used to that much. For the people that started playing Magic back in the early days, in the 90s, white didn't really have all that much card draw. But now look at what we have. This entire deck is made of card draw. And it's something that Wizards kind of announced that they would be doing more of. And I kind of wanted to drive the point home. This is not every card in current modern standard rotation that we can do card draw out of. There are more cards. And because there are so many individual cards, we didn't do 4 of anything in this deck. Okay, so let's go through it. Basilica Skullbomb, sacrifice and draw a card, or you can sacrifice it for 3, give a creature 2/2/2, gain flying, then you have them draw the card. Break the Spell gets rid of enchantments. If it's a permanent you controlled or a token that was destroyed this way, draw a card. The Wrench, you can sacrifice it, draw a card. It's an equipment, but it's a colored equipment. You need a 1 white mana to summon it. This is just things to keep us alive, right? 3 copies of Fierce Retribution. I do need some interaction at some point, but we don't have a lot. I do have 3 Spirited Companions. It's an enchantment creature and a dog. When it enters the battlefield, it draws a card. That benefits nicely with Sigarda's Splendor. As a Sigarda's Splendor in the battlefield, you note your life total. You draw a card if your life total is greater than or equal to the last noted life total. We have Sunset Revelry. If your opponent has more cards in hand than you draw a card. Notice that everything's draw a card. For Sigarda's Splendor, you only do it once, right? Once per turn. For Spirited Companion, unless you like blink it or do something like that, it's once per turn. Once when it enters the battlefield only. Discerning Financier. This is from Eldraine. Beginning of upkeep. If your opponent controls more lands than you create a treasure token. For 3 mana, you can choose another player. That player gains control of target treasure you control, and you draw a card. You could do this more than once per turn if you have a lot of extra energy. If you have 6 mana, you could do it twice. Notice it doesn't say choose your opponent. It says choose another player. This is designed for use in Commander. Halo Fountain. All the way back to Streets of New Capenna, one of the older expansions now, one of the older sets. For 2 mana, you can untap 2 tapped creatures you control and draw a card. Inspiring Overseer, of course, also Streets of New Capenna. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Invasion of Dominaria. Enters the battlefield, gain 4 life and draw a card. Lorna of the Third Path. Tap it and you and target opponent each draw a card. The Resistance Squad, when it enters the battlefield, if you control another human, you draw a card. That's from Innistrad. So is the Search Party Captain. This is from Innistrad Midnight Hunt. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Sing along if it starts to sound familiar. Scroll Shift. Blink something. When it returns to the battlefield after that, you draw a card. Thousand Moons Infantry. This is the one card I have in here that does not draw a card. I just made a deck with this. I loved it. I love the way it worked. I did include it in here because it has some synergy with another card. It has synergy with a couple things. It works with Resistance Squad, right? Because you control another human, you draw a card. If we're attacking with it, right, it works with Search Party Captain. Also, I don't know, I thought maybe I'd equip it with Wrench. Because if I equip it with Wrench, I can spend 3, tap a target creature, and then this automatically untaps at the beginning of the other player's untap step. So if I don't attack with it, and I use it to just tap something else down, I can attack with a second creature, and say they only have one creature out that could have blocked. I can tamp it down with Thousand Moons Infantry, equipped with Wrench, and then Thousand Moons Infantry untaps at the beginning of the next untap phase, and I've got a blocker all of a sudden. So that's that idea. Occasions welcome. Whenever one or more creatures in mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. Notice it only triggers once each turn. That's very purposeful. This is part of the design parameters that Wizards of the Coast has determined. They've looked at this very extensively. They've tried to make sure that the draw a card feature is not too powerful. So although there are places where if you have extra mana you could pup an activated spell and do it more than once, for things like enchantments, they're making sure that you always have this rider on it. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's their way to add this ability to commander fights, but not have it be overwhelming. Union of the Third Path. Draw a card, gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. This time, this is one of the first places where the draw a card comes first instead of last. That's on purpose to maximize the life gain, right? Because you draw the card first, and then you gain the life. So the extra life point comes... you won't find this in hardly any other spell, but it's very purposeful, right? They want you to get that one extra life point. Otherwise, if it was the old way, the way it is on every other card, gain life and then draw a card, then you had 5 cards in your hand, you gain 5 life. The 6th card you gain doesn't help you. This way they reversed it, so by design, draw a card comes first there. Wedding announcement. If you attack with 2 or more creatures this turn, you draw a card. Welcoming Vampire. Power 2 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Notice this ability triggers only once each turn. Rumor Gatherer. When another creature enters the battlefield, you scry. If this is the second time the ability has resolved this turn, draw a card instead. Notice that they don't have to have the rider that it only happens once per turn, right? Because you can only have it happen the second time once during an entire turn. So if you put a 3rd creature down, or a 4th or a 5th, you just go back to scrying. You never get to draw another card. So same effect, but the way the card is designed, they don't have to spell out that it only happens once each turn. It's up for you to notice. The second time you put a creature down, you get to draw a card. That situation isn't going to occur again in the same turn. So again, still having that 1 turn limit. Platoon Dispenser. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more creatures, draw a card. And Combat Thresher with Double Strike. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. So that's what we did. We took the land tutoring spells, and we took the draw card spells, and we injected them into the modern standard on Arena, where they have made and designed all of these cards. They've made these choices, these changes to the color pie over the last few years to help out Commander, to help out the colors if you're playing a monocolor in Commander. What is the impact on the rest of the game? For those of us that aren't really playing Commander right now, if we're kind of stuck just on a digital Arena, what can we do with this? I think it's a worthwhile experiment. Are we okay with this as a user base? I'm going to go get some land. Plain Tutor works. Happens up front. Make sure I don't miss my land drop. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Rumor Gatherer. Will you stop the Rumor Gatherer? I'm assuming this is Counterspell deck. They stop it. Okay. Expected that. We can cast a spell for the next 4 turns without a problem. You will run out of counter spells. Counter this, please. stops the life gain, stops the draw card advantage. Okay. They used all of their mana. Good, so they can't spend a 1 mana spell and filter through their deck and draw stuff. Please wait and hold your stuff. Hold your stuff. Inspiring Overseer. Do you want to counter this? I bet you do. I'll bet you do. Ha ha! You proliferate, which is useless to you. Because there are no counters here yet. 5 lands, they managed to outdraw us. They get the Haughty Djinn. Do you have another counterspell? Or do you have something that just protects the Haughty Djinn? They got something they can cast right now, right? Everything's cheaper. Remember, everything's 1 mana cheaper now. They could have a draw spell. They could have a 1 mana protection spell. They could have a 3 mana counter spell that now costs 2. They're blue. You have to give them time to think. Remember that. We've introduced just one level of complication into the game so far, so they're going to rope us. Ooh, excuse me. It just hit midnight where I am, my local time, so... What do you do when you run into roping? You take time for station identification. Welcome, everybody. New players, go ahead and subscribe to Tpull's Corner. I'm Travis. I'm here at least twice a week. If I get extra time, I'm here 5 times a week. That's why you subscribe, so that way you're not surprised. Whenever I put something out, you'll get it. Okay. Yeah, let's try this one. And we wait again. It's 3 different types of counterspells, so if we assume they have 4 of each, means we're going to face this at least 9 more times, minimum. Although their decision should not be quite this hard. Whew. Alright, that's our turn. We got something down. I'm kind of hoping they attack us. They know they can just keep the Haughty Djinn upright if they have the 1 mana spell that gives it hexproof and untaps it. They can even attack and still be able to wipe out one of our creatures if we attack next turn. I'd rather get down this 3/2. We've got a human peasant. This would let us draw a card and let us transform the farmhand. But I don't really have anything that gets past a 4 toughness creature yet. That kind of gives them the advantage. Just the cheap creature way that all of my entire deck is constructed. I would need to line up like 20 points of damage and bum rush them a couple times to get past a Djinn or 2. No. Why would you do that? You had 4 cards in your hand that weren't lands. We frightened the blue Djinn deck away. Soul Enervation. How many of these do I have? I don't think I've put this in deck, but maybe once. It's got Flash. When 1 or more creature leaves your graveyard. I'll have to think about that one. I don't think I've used that. I wonder if I have 4 copies. Maybe that's why. A lot of times I wait until I get my 4th copy before I'll make a deck. that has it in it. Unless the card is just too good. Three tapped lands. I need 3 to get going on anything, so we're fine. We're about to get some card draw advantage, possibly. Make sure we hit our land drops, at the very least. And this is one of the things that kind of... What?! In what world do people quit when there's one Inspiring Overseer on the board? What is going on tonight? I mean, I'd love to say that this is case positive, that Wizards did the wrong thing. That it's the adding of Plains tutoring to white and card draw to white in combination is too much. But that's kind of hard to get an accurate sample size when they're scooping on the first creature I put down. I don't think I can justify that conclusion just yet. Card draw advantage, activate! To you're an enchantment. Gets +1/+1. Let's set up first. We'll leave an attack. I'll trade a 2 for 1. Why not? This is not the only enchantment creature they're going to have. Perfect. 4 points. Pretty bad. Alright. Break the spell. Do I want to do... Oh. Oh, it's an enchantment creature, so it doesn't work. I have to target only the enchantment. My bad. Well, in that case, let's do other things. They pay 3 to cast that, right? Hey, they got their own Overseer. I'm guessing they didn't expect that. Search party captain becomes cheaper. Draw a card. Dog comes down. Draw a card. Activate Takesha's Welcome. Draw a card. Life is good. You're looking at my captain. Exile. Oh, they made good on a Fall of Lord Kanda. When's the last time we saw one of those cards? Oh, look, another white card. I forgot about this one. When Fragment of Kanda dies, draw a card. How about that? We need a human on the battlefield. Human peasant. Let's go look for land. Take action. Give me that. Resistance squad. We now have a human. When this enters, we draw a card. Can't cast anything. We'll put down a tap land. We attack with what we got. At this point, we do have to start to worry about a board wipe. But I just don't care. Activate! Throw down another tap land. Attack with everybody. 8 damage. Are you going to do something finally? I only have one source of lifelink here, so... Yeah, okay. We take 5. Got land. Attack with you. 2, 3, 4. Attack with you. They just lose the defender and draw a card, and that's enough for them. For all of our draw, they have just as many planes on the ground as we do, notice. They got rid of the graveyard, too. How about that? Draw a card. Gain 4 life. Draw a card. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Never mind. That's all we're going to do. They just did a board wipe. Barroom Brawlers. That's a 5. We have scroll shift in case they try and do something against the dog. 9 lands. Wandering Emperor. Are you going to exile it?
Feel the energy of battle.
No. Okay.
Then guide it like what? May your blade strike true.
Elf Wizard. Seriously? Backup agent.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Do you have something you can do? No.
Oh, it's on.
Human. We get to scry. Lauren, I'll take Lauren. Now they're top decking. Ouch, that's a good top deck. That's a very good top deck. Notice they top deck a 6/6 creature. It's nothing like anything they had in the rest of the deck.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Okay, we have a human, so this is going to draw us a card. We scry first, we'll take that. Sure, why not? No attacks. I don't have any treasures. They have nothing in the sky. They get rid of my Halo Fountain?
Keep watch for intruders.
That's a lot of creatures.
Back to wandering.
Hey, look at that. We can draw a card with the white land. Let's do it again. We're running out of cards. Done. They have 1,000 moves infantry? No way! What are you doing with that card? What are the odds? Is this Arena's idea of a mirror match? I had a whole deck with them. Now I just have one card. We can take out you. That's it. Down to 5. That seems fair. Let's see. We can gain 4 life. That's good enough. A wrench! We have a wrench. Oh, we have to equip that for 2. No. Let's go get this guy. They have a discerning financier? What is going on? Let's see. Block you. Block you. Done. Ooh. Nice. I feel like we should draw that card. Target up to 1. No, we don't. They don't have anything. Oh, that's lovely. That's an instant too, isn't it? Okay, so not you. Yeah, you. Nope. We have enough land finally. Sigarda's Splendor. Perfect. Perfect. They get a treasure token. They get card draw if they give us that treasure token. They will probably give us that treasure token. Thank you. Thank you very much. A planeswalker. Okay.
I'll light your way on these dark streets. Be brave.
They ran out of mana. They can't bring that back. Okay, flying and vigilance. I'm trying to be careful because the cat jumped up here and I need to make sure it doesn't accidentally hit the concede button for me. The cat knows where all of my hotkeys are and I don't. Destroy target attacking creature. Comes back as a land. It's fine. Destroy it. They don't wait for anything after that. I had a couple of different things I could have done. I was originally planning on doing Union of the Third Path to draw into the Sigarda's Splendor. But we had so many ways to fly over their head and take out the Planeswalker, or just bum rush them and hit them for the 9 points of damage. Case of the Gateway Express. Alright, because it's after midnight my time, and because that took a really long time, I'm going to leave it there. Do I have 3 copies of Gateway Express? Okay. So this is it. This is Planesdraw, the tutoring effect that Wizards of the Coast added in for the purpose of helping white out in the color pie in Commander battles. And we have sort of taken advantage of the vast majority, just a smattering, usually just 1 copy each of different ones of these. We could have just packed 4 wedding announcements in the deck, right? We could have had 4 Union of the Third Pass. We could have had twice as many cards. We could have had like a 250 card deck just out of white cards that allow you to draw cards now. Is this good for the game? Is this a corrupting influence by Commander? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I think I'm going to make a poll about it, because I was going to do a poll a month, and like I said, the year got away from me already. So it's been a long time since I had a poll. So be on the lookout on the community page. I will have that up. And I'd like to ask for your input on what your opinion is on what Wizards of the Coast is doing in terms of changing the game, altering the color pie specifically because Commander's become a popular format and they want to sort of help out each color where they think it needs help. And is that okay? Because look what it does on Arena. Are we okay with this? Are we happy with this? Are we excited? Or do we hate it? Are we in the middle? Let me know. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.